No, don't you cry for me.
The Reckless Ray. The Reckless Power Hour.
Breaking news.
In the words of Buddy Holly, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Folks, am I excited today. Like a kid at Christmas, that's right, you know the one. Upper middle class might just be getting a pony this year. The birds are singing, the sweet sounds of Stephen Foster are once again echoing across the airwaves, and we are on the cusp of the great red wave. Full far-right control of the Congress is just hours away. Can't you just feel the electricity in the air, Auggie? I'll tell ya, I haven't felt this invigorated since that year I was banned from the pharmacy and had to get all my Viagra online via the dark web and Korean markets.
I'm gonna throw up.
The wild year, Auggie.
I thought it was definitively decided that Oh Susanna as the theme song was out because racism.
Not to worry, Kelly. I was recently informed from my sources in the governor's office that we have the full support of the DeSantis administration in continuing to honor our past culture. In fact, he's demanding it. It's a full-out culture war, honey, and we're taking back the country one song at a time.
So you want to go back to the 1950s? Is that what you're saying?
We'll take this bitch all the way back to the 1850s. In fact, let's hear some more of those sweet tunes one more time.
No, don't you cry for me.
Swear to God, Auggie, boner every time. Take it in, Tampa. The Phoenix is rising.
I hardly think your weekend poker buddy Sal, who cuts the grass at the Capitol, constitutes the quote-unquote full support of the administration. Has he ever even met DeSantis?
Just once. He was verbally berated by him for forgetting to trim behind the bushes. Wouldn't be upset about something like that. But he swears he overheard him on the phone just the other day say, "I love that reckless Ray."
I see you conveniently left out the part where Sal said he was pretty sure that's what he heard, but there was also a small outside chance he could have heard him say, "I love to heckle gays."
Or I feel like a god today.
How about not another immigrant stays?
Oh, good one. Or we'll fly him all the way.
Nice. Maybe it was, will you take $50 for a lay?
Okay, Vanilla Ice, I'm shutting this little rap session down. I don't know what to call you. Are there any white female rappers out there? Auggie, look into that for me.
Well, if your most
You
recent
got Iggy,
example of a popular white
Charlie.
male rapper is Vanilla
That
Ice,
baby's
then
really
you
blown up
probably
right
haven't
now.
updated your playlist since like 1990, so I don't expect you would know any of them.
You're not gonna f***ing bring me down today. And honestly, with the conspiracy theories again,
Well, if that's not the pot calling the kettle black, I don't know what is.
Seriously?
It can't be a conspiracy theory when there actually isn't an established fact. Just a story from a guy trying to decipher what he heard from 40 yards away, with the lawnmower running, mind you.
Okay, well, I'd love to get into this discussion on riveting conspiracy theories, Republican Party. Why don't we actually try to do our job for once and give the audience what they tune in to hear? Remember, we do a political talk show, supposedly? So why don't we move on to, like, our picks for this year's key races or something? Well, mostly my picks. You know, we've seen a large influx of Kelly mail coming in lately. And not the normal, like, hate-lace stuff. So if you guys are busy bickering like an old married couple, I'm gonna get this show started with my first pick. In the 14th Congressional District of New York, I pick, surprise, surprise, AOC!
Shocker. Way to really go out on a limb there, Kelly. And we said key races here. You know, the ones that will actually have an impact on the overall balance of power in the country.
Classic Auggie, belittling the power of women again.
I never said
you know,
it.
Auggie, you really got to get over this issue you have with women.
I don't.
In fact, you know what? To show what a supporter I am of the fairest sex, I think I'll make my first election pick a woman.
This is gonna be bad.
That's right. The next governor of the great state of Arizona will be none other than Carrie Lake. Now that is what old Ray calls a real hot tamale. It's a real woman, Auggie. I ever tell you about that dream I had where I found myself stuck in the elevator with her and Sarah Palin?
Ew.
Yes, and for the love
spicy.
of God, Ray, do not talk about that on the air.
Just say I didn't need any Korean Viagra that night. Whoa!
You do know that no one can see you winking right now, right? We're on the radio, not TV. Oh, right, that's right. Your audience only knows how to react to cues and innuendo. Wall equals cheer, lock her up equals USA chant, and bad hombres equal white power. Porn music means you've had sex, I imagine. Yep, it's not subtle at all.
Sadly, what's even scarier than the vivid description Ray shared with me about that dream is what this woman's actually doing to democracy. I mean, it's Bannon Trump 101. Create a circus, sell your followers that the media is against them, and create your own reality. I'm just hopeful that in 50 years our grandchildren will look back at some of these current Republican leaders in utter embarrassment, and that history will condemn them as absolute jokes. But in the meantime, I hate to say it, you're right, it's pretty apparent at this point she's gonna win.
Lake, lake, lake.
Way to just roll over and die like always, Auggie. Why can't you ever have a little faith and believe?
I love it. The finger pointing already. Lib on lib bitch fighting.
I'm not rolling over and dying. I'm looking at the double-digit polls and acknowledging that Lake is likely going to win. And I'm doing the same thing I've been doing since 2016, trying to plead with the Democratic Party that they need to engage the well-intentioned moderate and left-leaning factions of the Republican Party in compromises to move the country forward. Not lecture people on pronouns and forced diversity.
Oh, and we are out to a good fight here. The meek moderate comes out swinging. Will the wily lib nut fight back?
I never approved that nickname.
Oh, she's on the ropes, Auggie.
Just think about this. We are in a world where people are going to go into a booth on November 8th and put a check next to Herschel Walker for no other reason than he has an R by his name. People who consider themselves religious are going to go and vote for someone who threatened to kill his family, probably has more illegitimate children than Wilt Chamberlain, and who carries around a make-believe badge. I once heard him give a stump speech how China was taking our good air. Again, I can only imagine what people are going to say in 50 years if this guy is made a United States Senator.
They're not going to say anything, Auggie, because someone's always unhappy and someone always wants power. The same way it was 50 years ago, and it will be 50 years from now. Do you know who's going to be there to rile them up and make a quick buck in the process? That's right, the next generation of reckless rays. God, I love this f***ing country.
God help us all. I guess that's one thing I do have in common with Kelly is I'd like to think that we can do better.
Did somebody just say my name? Sorry, I was looking at some underground polls on the 14th district.
You keep looking at those polls all day long, but it's a red wave a-coming. So put on your floaties and get prepared to be swept away. Honestly, I swear to God, I get a stiffy every time I hear myself say this.
I said I do share your optimism that we, the citizens of the United States, can do better. I'm saying I agree with you. But I just think it's going to take a little more time and patience than you're willing to give people.
What's your problem, Auggie? You're a waiter. You're always just waiting. Mama is a doer. Unless she's napping or watching TikTok, but mostly a doer. Who was there this fall in New York to support those poor kids at Columbia University who got their chemistry professor fired for being too difficult? That's right, Kelly.
Okay, and they're out for round 2. Libnut showing some legs here. Looks like she has some fire in her.
I mean, they said I couldn't actually sign the petition since I wasn't in the class, but I was there to support them, you know? And who was there just last week to sign that petition to make Taylor Swift alter her recent fat-phobic video? That's right, me, again.
Sing it, sister. Slap that moderate bitch.
I will.
And we're back. Well, before Kelly starts rattling off some more of her groundbreaking social progress accomplishments,
They are
I
progress.
think I'll make my election pick. In the state of Ohio, I like my guy Tim Ryan to pull off the upset. He's ran a great campaign, engaged the other side of the aisle, and has been flexible enough to occasionally skirt party lines when it's been helpful to expand his voter base, all while keeping the consistent, regular guy image.
Wow. You lost me at regular, then again at white, and then one more time for good measure at guy.
Oh, she is just Will Smithing your ass, Auggie.
Again, Kelly, for the 1000th time, this isn't about picking a diverse candidate for the sake of diversity. It's about picking a candidate that can actually win.
And they're swinging again here in round 3. The moderate isn't progressive enough. The progressive is 2 ways from Sunday. And I'm pleased to say the winner is the angry fan base that just wants to see a fight.
If you send Tim Ryan to Washington, now you have a legitimate chance at breaking the 50-50 split and having a real opportunity to change things that you are so passionate about, like climate legislation, more debt relief, maybe the next Supreme Court justice, maybe even more gun control. If you run a black woman for the sake of running a black woman, none of that can happen.
Whoa! Just when you thought the moderate was out, he's fighting back. What? Not sure who he's making that argument to. Third-party Yang crowd, I guess?
It's about strategy over purity. The Republican Party has understood that so much better than the Democrats in recent years. Trust me, if I had a vote in Georgia, I would be supporting Stacey Abrams all day long. Not because she's a black woman, but because she's the best candidate.
That's it. I'm stepping in. The black and white is going to call this one. Mostly white. The fight is over, and the winner is the GOP. That was thrilling. Nothing better than seeing the libs and mods fight it out like that and waste their time and energy over political ideals. This ain't rocket science, folks. You know why Herschel Walker is going to win? Because people want easy. The fact he may be mentally incapacitated is really only helping his chances. China took our air, he carries a fake badge, blah, blah, blah.
And that doesn't bother you just even a little bit? You have no decency to admit that that is so wrong?
Kent Brockman has said it before, and I'll say it now. Democracy simply does not work, people. Scary music, the world is out to change you, and remember the good times. Political Science 101. More to the point, Human Nature 101.
That was oddly poignant, Ray.
Oh my god, you're such a little bitch-ass pissant, Auggie.
And the cycle continues. But before we bring this segment to a close, I believe, Auggie, you had a couple special messages for our loyal listeners that you wanted to mention, which is I know I'm going to regret this. What do you want to say, Auggie?
I just wanted to say... Music, Ray? I just wanted to say that right, middle, left, I think it's important for everyone to get out and vote this week. I think it would be a good message if we can at least end on that note. So, with that said, I do truly hope everyone gets out and votes, regardless of your political affiliation or beliefs. Ray, Kelly, do you guys have anything to add?
I really couldn't agree more, Auggie. It's absolutely critical that everybody gets out and votes. Unless you're planning to vote for a centrist, in which case, just stay home. A vote for Biden agenda is really just a vote for the GOP.
Spectacular. Ray, anything from you?
The right to vote is a privilege, and I want to encourage those out there in the country, get in that car, take a drive down good old Main Street, maybe grab some breakfast before Mass, and vote for your way of life. It's a wonderful way of life. Guns, whites. The only mention of a Mexican comes in the grocery store aisle. If you don't, that life will be lost.
And I should have seen that coming.
Those of you in the inner city, I suggest staying home on Tuesday. We're hearing the traffic is going to be pretty
Are you
bad.
kidding me?
Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, Madison,
Wow.
Youngstown, Duluth, specifically. I'm hearing gangland violence
don't-
throughout.
don't.
Best to stay indoors on Tuesday
Don't.
in the inner city.
Don't listen to
Okay,
him.
that went about as well as I should have expected.
Hold your horses, Auggie. I'm not done yet. Finally, the burbs. That magical class of folks that controls our destiny. Lower to middle class moms probably sit this one out. For those more affluent folks out there, gated communities, take that golf cart down to the polls and keep your American dream a reality. It all goes away if you don't. I'm talking everything. 18 holes a day, off the books gardeners. It's gone. All of it. If you don't make yourself heard.
All right, point taken. That was a terrible decision on my part.
All right, can we just wrap this up now, Auggie?
Not yet. You need to make that final announcement we talked about.
I'm supposed to read
Right
this
there on the
memo
bottom of
thing?
that blue sheet of paper.
It says here that fans of the show can now find recent episodes of the Reckless Ray Power Hour on iTunes and Spotify.
I'm convinced Ray can't read.
That's Spotify, Ray. It's a very popular spot to listen to podcasts. I thought it would be a helpful way for us to advertise and continue to grow the show.
I don't really understand what you're saying, but if you're telling me that more people can hear my voice, then I'm in. Though I do miss the old days when I could give Charlie Rico $100 a month and he put my face on every phone book and park bench in the greater Tampa area.
Oh my god, I always wondered why you had that park bench with a graffitied picture of yourself in your garage. Makes sense now.
Simpler times, Kelly, simpler times. At any rate, per Auggie's memo, we will be back next week for the Season 2. Not sure what that means. Premiere of the Power Hour for a special post-election episode of the breakdown of all the results.
Wait a minute, we had a season 1?
I was not aware of that either.
I kind of assumed the pilot never even aired.
Just go with it, okay? They don't know that either. Just play the outro. Play the
No,
outro.
don't you cry for me.
The Reckless Ray. The Reckless Power Hour. Power Hour. Power Hour.
Hey everyone, this is Hilton Scott, and we wanted to thank everyone who's taken the time to listen to the Power Hour over the last year.
We had a lot of fun doing the show and really look forward to Season 2.
And from all the cast, just a reminder, if you haven't already, the most important thing you can do this week is vote.